In the twilight of one of the most storied careers in sports history, LeBron James has a message not just for the NBA, but for the entire basketball world. It's time to rethink how we measure greatness. A four-time NBA champion, two-decade icon, and the first active NBA player to become a billionaire, LeBron James has heard it all. The praise, the criticism, the debates, and most often, the comparisons to Michael Jordan. Yet, for all he's achieved, the conversation around his legacy is still haunted by one persistent theme: rings, championship rings. The glittering jewelry that's become the scoreboard in the ever-exhausting GOAT debate. For James, it's a narrative that oversimplifies careers and disrespects legends. "I don't know the answer," James said recently on his podcast Mind the Game, co-hosted with JJ Redick. "I wish I had it, but I honestly don't. I don't know why winning rings is discussed so much in our sport, and why it's seen as the end-all, be-all of everything." That statement wasn't a hot take thrown in passing. It was a shot fired directly at a culture that James feels has distorted the perception of individual greatness in the NBA. A culture that looks past the blood, sweat, and brilliance of a career simply because there's no championship hardware at the end of it. LeBron isn't arguing against the value of winning. It's hard to when you've lifted the Larry O'Brien trophy 4 times. But he's challenging the narrative that only champions matter, that unless you've won it all, your career is somehow incomplete, or worse, invalid. The disrespect of legends. To illustrate his point, LeBron brought up names that command immediate respect in basketball circles: Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, and his podcast co-host, Steve Nash. All MVPs, all Hall of Famers, all without a ring, and all, James argues, too easily cast aside by the ring-centric discourse. Just because they didn't win a title, you mean to tell me they don't belong in the room with champions? James asked. That's ridiculous. It doesn't work that way in other sports. He then pivoted to the NFL. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't sit at the same table as Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes because he only has 2 rings. Or Dan Marino can't be mentioned among the greatest quarterbacks because he didn't win one. The examples kept flowing across sports, across eras. Did Barry Bonds win a World Series? Number. But you can't sit here and tell me he's not the greatest player to ever touch a baseball bat. It makes no sense. Basketball is a team game. James then touched on another crucial point that often gets lost in these conversations. Basketball is a team sport. Winning a championship isn't just about how great one player is. You need the right organization, the right coach, the right teammates, and a little bit of luck. Some guys never had that, James said. You automatically dismiss people and their careers when you say, well, he didn't win a ring. That's lazy. That's not how this works. LeBron even pointed to Jerry West. Yes, the Jerry West, the man whose silhouette is the NBA's logo. He went to 9 finals and only won 1, LeBron said. So what? That man is basketball. You can't just erase his legacy because of his finals record. The Jordan comparison, a tale of 2 careers. Of course, no discussion of LeBron's stance on legacy can avoid the comparison that has followed him for 2 decades. Michael Jordan. Jordan went 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals. He never lost on the league's biggest stage and did it all with the same franchise. His finals perfection has become the holy grail of the GOAT argument. But LeBron challenges the blind worship of that record. People act like Jordan never struggled. He lost in the first round 3 times before winning anything. But no one talks about those years because the rings are all that matter. LeBron has played in 10 NBA Finals, 4 more than Jordan. He lost 6, yes, but ask yourself, how many players could have dragged that 2007 Cavaliers roster to the finals at age 21? How many could have taken a depleted 2015 Cavs team to a 2-1 series lead over a 67-win Warriors squad? And what about 2016, when he led the greatest comeback in NBA history, down 3-1 to a 73-9 Golden State juggernaut? These things matter. The journey matters, James emphasized. A plea for perspective. James's critique of ring culture is more than a personal gripe. It's a broader call for nuance, for empathy, for understanding that greatness doesn't always come in the form of jewelry. He wants fans and media alike to do better, to appreciate the totality of a player's career, to value excellence in all its forms: MVPs, scoring titles, cultural impact, leadership, not just the scoreboard in June. I just hope we start appreciating more what guys have been able to accomplish, James said. Stop reducing it all to rings.